The product that we've got to put on the windshield of the WRX today is something that we've been trying to get our hands on for quite some time. We have finally bit the bullet. We purchased this product ourselves from Armour Detail Supply, so it was not supplied to us at all. We put down our money, finally decided to pony up the money to get it shipped to New Zealand, because that's probably the biggest thing with a lot of companies, in particular Armour Detail Supply. Getting the product here probably outweighs the actual cost of the product.
Well, yeah, our shipping to New Zealand is really hefty.
So we finally bought one, and the reason I'm really excited to try this is a couple of things. So we've been on the hunt for a really good glass coating for quite some time. We have tried products from CarPro, we've tried Geon, we've tried Angel Wax, we've tried Maguire's, we've tried Wolf's, we've tried a lot of different glass sealants and glass coatings as well, and we still haven't landed on one that is overly impressive for us. Like, yeah, most of them perform well when you get to 100 kilometers an hour, so that 50 miles an hour kind of range. But what we don't find is when we're cruising around in our lower speed limited streets that we get good performance. And longevity is also another big factor for us as well. We find that we're having to reapply them way more often than what we'd like to do.
And the other downside to a lot of these is you get a lot of windscreen wiper chatter.
You do, yeah, so that's another thing to consider. G-Technic actually is another one we tried, and we had really, really bad chatter from the windscreen wipers. And then we've tried standalone, we've tried paint coatings as well on the glass. They perform pretty well on the side glass, not so much the front glass. But what really jumped out to me for Armour Detail Supply and why I want to try it, there's probably two key reasons. So the first one is that Armour Detail advertised this. It's very clear on the back of the bottle here. It will repel water at the speeds of 30 miles per hour. So when we get to about 60 kilometers, it should start to repel. They claim here though, it eliminates the need for windshield wipers at highway speed. So they're not going performance is better. They're saying it just eliminates the need. So what we should see is when we're traveling at highway speeds, shouldn't need to use these at all. So the other thing that I really like about this product is that there is no cure time. So you can apply this to the windscreen. You can leave it for 1 minute. You can leave it for 3 hours. There is no difference on what Armour Detail are claiming around performance or ease of use to actually get it off the windscreen. They say it bonds instantly to your glass. So that means that you're not having to work in these optimal conditions. You can put it on there, go for lunch, come back and remove it. Or if you're in a hurry, you can go and remove it immediately. And the second factor of that as well is it's layerable without needing to wait a set period of time before you do that second layer. So we are going to do 2 layers on here because why not? We don't have to wait. We're going to get better longevity and hopefully better performance. And then the other thing is you can get it wet immediately. So unlike a lot of other coatings where the recommendation is to not allow water on it for 2 hours or 4 hours or overnight, whatever it may be, Armour Detail say that you can get this wet instantly, and that's down to the fact that it is curing and bonding immediately to the glass. So what we're actually working with here today is really clean glass. We've gone through a pretty thorough preparation process here. What you want to do, we didn't capture it on film, but we have washed this car. We've used like a decontamination shampoo on the windscreen and we've clayed it. It's been polished as well to remove any residual coating that we had on there. We did have an Angel Wax H2Go on there previously, but that's been about 6-7 months, so fully worn off by this stage, given that was a sealant, not a coating. And then where we've picked up this video right now is where we need to panel prep. So because we have decontaminated, we have polished the glass, we've already gone through and done a bit of a superficial cleaning, but we've got G-Technic's panel wipe here. We don't actually have the Armour Detail Supply panel wipe to hand, so we're going to use this. This is a really stout product. I'm not going to spray it on the glass. More so, it's not going to cause any issues if I spray it on the glass, but I don't want to get any of this on the paint of the vehicle and have it dry on there. So I'm just going to be pretty careful here, apply it to my microfiber towel, really soaking it down. And then the key here is this is going to remove any polish residue, pretty much anything that is left on this glass, which will promote a better bonding for the coating that we're about to put on there. ADS recommend that you do this twice to your glass. Like, we've already done this once, so this is kind of the final wipe off because the car's been sitting for a few hours in the garage just to make sure we've got nothing left on here. Clean it up. And our glass at this stage should be pretty crystal clear, ready to accept the coating. So the coating itself, we've got a 30 milliliter bottle there, and Glenn actually just off camera mentioned the thing that he likes about it is that you can actually see into the bottle. So it's not like a lot of these modern coatings where the bottle's dark and you're really struggling to see what you've got in there. We can see that clearly. Should get about 3 vehicles out of that. We find 10 milliliters for a windscreen is sufficient. We'll just kind of see how far we get through. We're going to do 2 coatings on here. And I mean, if this is great, we put it on side glass as well, but typically what we do is we use our glass coating on our front windscreen, and we put our flagship paint coating on the rest of the windows that aren't going to encounter that.
And just for this testing purpose as well, we just want to actually see it. Is this coating any good? Do we like it? And so it's just going to go on the windscreen. That's where most of the testing is going to happen. You know, our water behaviour, does it work well with the drying aid? Does it work well with shedding water at low speeds? Do we get good wiper interaction? And then we can then go, hey, then when we're offering it to customers, etc., then we can then put it onto the side glass, etc.
Correct. I mean, if this is great on the front windscreen, it's going to be even better on the side windows, so we'd know. But we need to land on a good glass coating, and I am holding out big hopes for this because of those reasons I told you. I think the biggest one is the fact I can do 2 layers, no curing time, and I can send it straight out the garage if we are working. So what we need to do to set this up, we've got this little dropper on the top here. We just need to do 3 lines. Just to kind of set ourselves up here. And Armour details say a little goes a long way. And the recommendation is to apply in circular motions. I'm going to kind of cut in this side here, and then I'm just going to work. Probably break this windscreen into maybe quarters, maybe a third. And then I think the thing that I'm looking for here when I'm actually applying is really just the ease of use to remove it. I mean, this is the same. Every glass coating you put on, you should really be applying like this to make sure you get even coverage. But we can run into issues with smearing, and you know, we can get to the removal stage. Sometimes some of these glass coatings we've encountered are not all that easy. Now, when we hear that, we're probably ready to apply a bit more product. Now, you're not going to need 3 lines on there second time around. We're just going to add an additional line and just kind of keep working over the windscreen. So it's a pretty quick process. Coating your glass does not take all that long.
But it's preparation that's probably going to take the most amount of time. You know, if you've got heavy water spots, you've got some etching that you really want to try really hard to remove, then that's where it's going to spend a lot of time. But that's like any coating, you know, preparation is key, but preparation is what takes the time. And if you're a customer, that's where you're paying the most for as well, is the preparation. Chucking this on is the easy bit, it's the most rewarding, but if you've done poor prep, then you're not going to get good longevity or results out of a coating.
Correct. And I mean, what you're looking for there, you can see, we should see all like the little circle marks. We're just letting that haze over on the windscreen. Kind of amazes me that they're claiming that this is bonding instantly and curing instantly on the glass as well. You could probably coat your glass in 5 minutes, but be prepared to spend an hour, 2 hours potentially, actually going through all the preparation steps to get to this point here. Now the debate that I'm having in my head is, do you apply it to the rubber on the windscreen wiper arms? I'm not going to do it, because what I'd like to see is that these do not chatter at all when we haven't applied anything to them. But it's something you can do. You could apply it here, which hopefully makes that transition between the rubber and the windscreen.
I mean, some companies do say to put it on, but I mean, they have it in their little description, so...
No, so we're just going to leave that alone. I actually like it comes quite slow out of the dropper as well.
Gives you a bit more control.
Yeah, you're not going to blow through as much product, I think. Now there's a potential I've over applied here and put too much on, but I'd probably prefer to do that than putting too little on, especially when they're claiming that this is easy to remove. So that's it, we set up. So we've let this sit for about 5 minutes. We're going to remove it now. The recommendation is use 2 towels to remove. So first of all, level it, and ADS say level it to like 95%. So you're not completely removing everything with your first wipe, and then introduce another towel and then go and fully buff it off, keeping in mind that you want to make sure you're not leaving any high spots behind. So we'll show you kind of what that looks like. So this is our It's our first wipe. We're going to work in these circular motions as well.
Is it slick?
Do you know what it is?
And is it easy to remove?
Tacky-ish. I wouldn't say it's slick. It is tacky-ish. And you can see here that the removal I'm doing is leaving product.
Leaving like a hazy sort of...
Yeah.
Yeah, it's almost like you've got the worst glass cleaner in the world and you've just smudged it everywhere.
Correct. Yeah. I am having to work, I'm telling you, like I'm only kind of doing that 95% removal here. I'm barely doing 95, I'm probably doing more 50%. I am having to work hard for this. And you can see that what I've really done is I've smeared it. Like, there is a lot of
see on the
smearing
camera
on
it's
there.
quite smeary.
So I think you are going to have to work quite hard, like in this middle area. It's still very smeary. So it's not one of those products that you're going to be able to apply and then wipe off with absolute ease. You are going to have to work for this. I'm hoping that it's worth the chase here and worth kind of going through a bit of a fight to level this off, to get really good longevity and performance out of this. Alright, I'm a little bit puffed because I have been rubbing hard on this glass. We found that quite difficult to remove, so we actually just went and looked at a couple of other videos, the ADS video in particular, and it looks like Bradley managed to remove this very, very easily from the windscreen. As you can see here, we've still got a bit of smearing toward the middle. We found it really difficult, and to be fair, what we actually had to do was bring out some glass cleaner to aid in the removal of the product we got on the surface. So we're a bit puffed, but what we're going to do is we're going to go again and we're going to apply our second coating. As we've already mentioned, there is no cure time that we need to wait before we can go and apply that second coating. What I'm hoping though is that we can remove this. I would love to remove this without the need to introduce a rinseless or a glass cleaner, because I feel like when we do that, I feel like I'm removing some of it. I don't think I am, because it bonds and it cures immediately, but just in my head I'm going, if I'm glass cleaning coating that's 5 minutes old on the glass, surely I'm not doing it any favors. So let's go again. We might go a little bit more sparingly with the product as well. We did go relatively heavy that first time around, but I don't think we went overboard. But what we'll do, let's just break this windscreen into halves. Definitely can feel some surface tension there now, so I'm definitely running out of product. I add a couple of extra drops. Now, the ease of removal for a glass coating, it's a pretty big deal. Like, it's not as important as longevity or performance. So performance would come number 1 for me. Ease of removal would be number 2, and longevity is number 3, because if you get good performance and it's easy to apply and easy to remove, longevity becomes something that's not that important. You know, if it lasts 6 months, great. We can just go and reapply again. But when it gets difficult to actually go and remove, that makes the installation process
what happens
harder.
is now you're running the risk that you don't remove all the product and you leave the customer going home with what looks like a really hazy mirror, hazy windscreen. So for a service point of view, if we're going to offer this for a customer, we want ease of application, obviously really easy for Glenn and I, and we want it to remove off really easy so that we know that we've removed the product so that we've got a nice clean finish. Longevity is also important because we also want to offer something that's got decent longevity, because the customer needs to have value for money, I suppose.
Well, that's it. I mean, longevity for you and I, less important. We can apply this every 2 months if we need to. But if we're charging a customer for this, we need to be able to back it with longevity and performance. The customer doesn't care about ease of application. We definitely do, because it's important for us to get a really good finish on the customer's car, not have any streaking on there.
But I also don't want to work too hard.
Correct. When
there's other products out there that maybe don't have as good as longevity, but I don't have to work as hard for it.
So we've got another fresh towel here to remove this. And on the Armour detail supply video, I just watched Bradley just kind of go like this, and it removed pretty much all of it. Actually, do you know what? That looks like it's removing a lot easier second time around. What does that look like on the camera? Can you see any smearing?
I can see where you've wiped off, like this halfway wipe off. That looks easier this time though, doesn't it?
It feels way easier, and it feels much slicker. Yeah, okay. Second application, this is a bit better. We have had to work hard on that first one though.
I wonder if we just let it, I wonder if the first application we just let it soak in and then put more on and then wipe off.
Yeah, maybe.
Is that easier? It still looks hazy though. And you're buffing pretty hard there.
On this one I am now, because I want to go for 100% removal. No, I feel like this is way easier. 10 times easier than the first application we just did.
Right, so that second application's way easier. Interesting. I wonder why though. I wonder why.
It's done a really good job at removing it the second time around. I'm really impressed with that now. I've gone from like a 50-50 to a like, yeah, like, come over this side.
That is way easier, yeah.
Just look across. Look how easy that was to remove second time around.
So here's where we've still got all that product on. Is it because you put less on, or you...
Maybe that's it. Maybe we went overboard with the amount of product. Although, it should be about 10 millilitres per windscreen. Keeping in mind this bottle here was sitting probably up here when we started. We haven't gone overboard.
See what it's like to wipe that off now that you've let that sit there for a bit longer than the other side. But I mean, that second wipe was way easier.
Yeah, it was. No, that's much easier. So now that gets me begging the question that should we just have applied some more? Should we have not removed, and like, it's going against the instructions for the product, but should we have just added some more? Because it's removing without issue now.
Oh, there you go. Solve the problem.
Second coat.
Put a second coat on if you're struggling to remove it, and it will come off easier.
Come off nice and easy. Now we're going for 100% removal, and I can feel the slickness straight away here. And I feel better about this too, because I haven't had to introduce glass cleaner, so I don't feel like I'm wasting the product.
And you can do your second last buff off. I think it is a bit smeary in the middle there.
Just in that middle where I've spread it a little bit. Lean over a bit there. How are we looking in that middle now?
Yeah, it looks better. I think you need to come back from this side now and go over. Alright, that's way easier the second time around. Interesting. Oh well, Bradley, if you're looking at this from Armour Detail Supply, tell us what happened there.
Did we apply too much product? I don't think we did, because I look at the bottle and go, we've not used more than what we should have for a windscreen.
But that first application was a hazy mess. You really had to buff hard, and I think you probably got rid of like maybe half of it. We used a bit of glass cleaner and stuff, and then we knocked it down to maybe 75, but still not good. We then reapplied more coating, and then we buffed off straight away, and it just took it all off. So what happened there, who knows?
And just so everyone has all the details, it is not in direct sunlight. It is 14 degrees Celsius, so it's not overly hot either. So ABS, love for you guys to chime in and let us know what could have happened in that first application. That is looking much better, and it is way slicker. Look at that.
That is way better. Yeah, that's like the bottle's meant to do. Nice one.
Okay, real-time follow-up. We've done absolutely zero prep. We just looked across the garage. We're like, let's put it on the Tesla as well. No prep, and just see if applying a little bit less product on that first coat gets us a better result. And I think, real-time follow-up, we've figured it out. I think we put slightly too much product on that first time around, because this is removing nice and easy. So I think it's a key of just finding that right balance between how much product to apply. And I think the main area we found difficult to remove was that kind of first area where we had put kind of 3 full lines of the product on the applicator. That's much easier now though. That's removing, not leaving any smearing. So I think key for us here is just going to be less is more, and we're getting that coverage by doing 2 coats of it regardless. So at least we've got 2 test pilots here. We can test it out on a prepared vehicle and an unprepared vehicle. So all in all, when we actually found out, I think, the right balance of the amount of product to apply, it's pretty easy glass coating to work with. We had 0 issues on the Tesla, 0 issues on the second coat on the WRX windscreen here. Really the only issue we had was potentially, and Bradley, let us know, is that it? Then we applied too much product in the first coat on this car. I'm really pleased that when we actually put the second coat on, we hadn't fully removed everything, but we were able to then get a really nice finish in the end without too much extra effort. So I'm really happy with the application process of this, and I'm glad that I think we worked it out in real time, because there's a very high likelihood, if you're a DIYer and you buy this product, you do exactly what we did with that first coat, because if you're thinking, hey, this bottle should get me 3 vehicles, you probably do want to apply a lot of product, because 10 mil of the Armour Detail Supply glass coating is actually a lot of product, even if you're doing 2 coats. So for us, from here, really it's about getting these cars out in the rain. It's lucky, it's winter in New Zealand at the moment. It doesn't look like it today. It's chilly, it's not raining, but I'm sure we will get some rain over the next couple of weeks. So I think for us, what we'll do is get these cars in the rain. We will take some clips on our phones as we're driving around over the next couple of weeks. Glenn's going to pop it on his Range Rover as well, so we'll have it on 3 cars out in the wild. And we'll probably come back and do a follow-up video. It'll probably be a very short one, 2-3 minutes, and just show you guys the performance that we are getting out of this. And then hopefully in a future video, we can talk about longevity as well. But in terms of application, that's it. You get everything you need in the kit here. The only thing that you're not going to get is the gloves, which we recommend you wear for any type of coatings or chemicals that you're working with on the car.
And I guess if this is your first time and you do apply too much product like we did in that mistake, if you buff off, put some more on, it should wipe away pretty easily. So
yeah,
that's sort of, I guess you were seeing it firsthand from us, but I also think that if you do that and you are in that situation, then give that a go and see if that helps you out.
Yeah, and hopefully by the time this video, by the time you're watching it, you can scroll down, have a look at the comments, and I'm sure Armour Detail would have chimed in there to either confirm what we did wrong or potentially give us some other pointers. So there you go. You haven't seen the perfect installation, but you have seen a real installation of the glass coating. We'll keep playing with us, keep putting it on more cars, keep testing in real life, and we'll keep you guys along the journey and let you know what we think of it once it's been on the cars for a little while. Thanks for watching. Make sure you hit subscribe to stay tuned for more content like this. We're out there trying pretty much every product we can get our hands on, so if there's another glass coating you think we should try, let us know below. Otherwise, we'll see you guys in the next video.